That's the news making headlines in the polity. We're going to take a short break, and when we return, the conversation continues, where I will introduce my guest who will be joining me live in the studios. Please don't get anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
In the beginning, God created a beautiful world.
3, 2, 1. Action.
And that's why, at KAFTAN Television,
we imagine a beautiful world.
We are not just bragging.
We blaze the trail in broadcasting. And it is about you.
At KAFTAN TV, broadcasting is not just about information, education, and entertainment.
it's an aggregation of all you need to know in Nigeria
and around the world to create signal.
At KAFTAN Television, we have all it takes to be on top in broadcasting.
Our mission is simple: to project Africa in a truthful yet positive manner.
Wait, we're coming to you in style.
Here we are, starting from September.
Look at what the facts are.
And as you say on KAFTAN TV, imagine a beautiful world.
In the beginning, God created a beautiful world.
3, 2, 1. Action.
Hello, you're welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the Polity live from KAFTAN Television Studios in Abuja. My name is Macauley Hunohashi, welcoming all our esteemed viewers. We're going to open our telephone lines in the course of the show. But before we do that, let me introduce my guest who has already joined me live in the studio. He's no other person than Obayomi Olukayode, PhD. He's a security expert, you know, in addition to so many things. He's also a patriotic Nigerian. Doctor, you are welcome to the Polity.
Thank you very much.
Doctor, let's begin straight away. There's so much happening in Nigeria. The floods have ravaged Borno State, submerging the state capital, Maiduguri, you know, to about 70%, you know, of the city submerged underwater. But we're not talking about that. We're talking insecurity and the challenges it poses in Nigeria. Let's have a general overview of the journey so far, addressing insecurity in the last 1 year, that is, under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. Give us a general overview across the country from what you see. You know, from banditry to kidnappings for ransom to insurgency in the northeast and all have you. What have you?
It's not been a very good story all along. This past 1 year of the new administration has been very turbulent, very stressful for the citizens, and to me it's a carryover of the former regime's problems. I mean, the Buhari administration, towards the end of that regime, things were really very bad. Things were not really good with the citizens and almost every individual in the country. So this government came at a time when things were not too bad, too good. And there has not been any improvement as such in terms of security, in terms of infrastructural development to me. And in terms of the welfare and security of the people. The insurgency has not been really seized. I mean, the activities of terrorists and insurgents have increased in in leaps and bounds, and there has not been any very serious improvement as far as I'm concerned with this administration. The flooding came, that is a natural disaster, nobody prayed for it, but there are things that could have been done to mitigate again the effect of this flooding that took up to almost 37 lives and hundreds of people injured. Things should have been put in place to provide safety for the people. But in any case, we just have to keep on hoping that things will improve, but it has not generally been very, very interesting and very encouraging. The situation has been bad and deep.
But government reports reaching us, emanating from media outlets indicate that there was a marching order given by Mr. President for service chiefs to relocate to the northwest region, particularly Sokoto, and to be led by the service chiefs were to be led by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa. Has there been any change in the security situation ever since? Because as of yesterday, bandits led by their kingpin Bello Turji, they were reported to have killed at least two army officers, 2 army personnel, 3 policemen, and they abducted scores of people from that region.
Yeah, the marching order for the service chief to move to the north state or northwest is not really the appropriate measures that ought to have been put in place. You see, when you announce you're coming, like we said the other time, to the enemy, they will get prepared and they will lay an ambush for you. It is not done anywhere in the world for you to announce, even if service chiefs need to be or they want to move to the northeast or the theater of war. You don't need to announce this. It's just for them to get nearer to the troops on the field, for them to be able to have closer supervision, closer control of the troops. And when you are doing that and you are announcing that to those who are laying in ambush for you, then you just end up losing more lives and endangering the lives of even the men on the ground. So it's not supposed to be an open kind of announcement that people should, the service chief should move. It should be something that should be done discreetly so that it will be more effective, it will have the necessary effect, desired effect. So we can't just say move and move. The people will go and lay ambush for them, and that's why they are killing our soldiers. And why our soldiers are also doing well in the theater of war, they are really doing well because then about some few months ago we see a kind of reduction in the activities of the terrorists. But now it's like it's coming back. Because they will strategize. Once they have information about your activities, your plans, your future plans, they will also plan. These are people who are intelligent. These are people who have gone to school. These are people who are well trained in the art of war. So they know what to do. They will come by surprise. And surprise is one thing that they have been using against our military men because of this open announcement, open strategy, opening your strategies to the enemy for them to know what are your plans. The enemies don't need to know your plans, so that they don't wait in ambush for you. And that's why we've been losing some of our soldiers. So we need to strategize. We need to be secretive about what we are planning. Our security is not an open thing that everybody should know about. We are just playing to the gallery. We don't need to be announcing to the student, to the populace that service chiefs should move. To go and do what? Are they going to a party? We are going to, the service chiefs are even moving. Their lives are in danger if it's announced in advance. What about if terrorists decide to bring their planes down and so on and so forth?
Let's go back to.
So we should be discreet about this, please.
But something happened 2 weeks to December last year. An unfortunate episode happened in Kankara, the headquarters of Kankara local government area of Katsina State, when gunmen invaded the government science secondary school in the town and abducted over 340 pupils. About 800 students were said to be at the school on December 11th, to be precise, when the attack occurred. But some of the pupils were able to scale the fence of the school and run to safety as the school's security personnel tried to repel the bandits. Although the schoolboys were freed about 6 days later, the incident brought back to memory the kidnappings of schoolgirls at Chibok. When you mention Chibok, you don't even remember the town again, but you just remember the image that will conjure in your mind was out of those ladies, those schoolgirls. and Dapchi in Yobe State in 2014 and 2018 precisely. And okay, the Chibok girls have spent 8 years. 88 of them are there. They have spent 10 years, 5 months, and 1 day today precisely. And the Leah Sheribu, has spent 7 years, 6 months, and 24 days. While 112 Gambarum Gala IDPs in Borno State have spent 6 months and 16 days. There is this 87 persons from Kajuru, local government of Kaduna State, that have spent 5 months and 27 days. These are the ones that have been documented. We are not talking about those that are undocumented. What does that, how does that portray the country?
Yeah, it just shows that we are living in an insecure geographical environment where life is short and brutish, just like in the Obasian state of nature. We are not sure, nobody is sure of being alive the next day or the next hour. Because somebody can just hold on to you, kidnap you, and when that is done, you are not sure of getting out of that, that situation alive. So it has made life very short and very brutish for an average Nigerian. You live with fears. In the day, at night, you live with fears. So this thing has become a daily occurrence. Kidnapping of school children. Because they do it when these terrorists and these bandits kidnap children and they get away with it, get ransom paid for them, they get encouraged. And our security system has to be rejigged. The security architecture has to be redrawn and rejigged. It's not only rejigging it, you have to redraw it, because what we have as the present security architecture is not working. There's a failure of intelligence gathering, or intelligence, the intelligence community has failed the Nigerian people. Because in the line of security, intelligence gathering is the first line of security, because if you gather intelligence on relevant information on threat that has to do with threat to the country or to the individual, that threat will be nipped in the bud before it becomes actualized by the terrorists or the bandit. But if individuals and organizations are supposed to gather intelligence, timely and accurate intelligence, for the organization to act. In those days, we were taught when we were in training in the Secret Service that the Secret Service is the first line of defense. And when the Secret Service is very active and professional, they will gather relevant information. The intelligence they will bring, in those days, we used to write intelligence, gather information, write intelligence, and send to the Provincial Police in the states where I have served when I was in service, in the Secret Service. Send to the commandant of the civil defense for them to take action. But once they don't have information, and you see a barrage, a myriad of security units in all the security forces. The police has their own intelligence group, the Navy has their own intelligence group, the Air Force. But what are we getting out of all this? So we really need to rejig our
during your time in service as a secret agent in the Secret Service. Was there synergy? Now you have decried the absence of synergy between the
serious rivalry.
Was it the same thing?
No, but that was about 35 years ago. Things were not as bad as this. The problem of the social malaise that has besieged our society is affecting everywhere. In those days, the Commissioner of Police and the Director of SSS in states, they work in tandem with one another. They work in, but these days, everybody wants to impress the Commander-in-Chief. And at that, they work at cross purposes. And at the end of the day, the citizens are made to suffer unnecessarily. So the security agencies have to cooperate seriously and work in the interest of the people and work in the interest of the Commander-in-Chief. It is not a competitive thing. You will see, because the police has their own intelligence. In those days, we used to write reports in the office, and the director will sign and send to the Commissioner of Police. Some people are planning to cause mayhem in this place. Before you know it, they'll be rounded up. But these days, everybody wants to do it. Everybody is playing to the gallery. Everybody is trying to impress the president, to maintain themselves in office, and everything boils down to our values. And this is really affecting our country. The security agencies have to redraw their architecture. I'm talking about redrawing, not rejigging. People are always talking about rejigging. You need to redraw it. What we have in place is not working. It's not working for us. There's total intelligence breakdown, failure.
Okay. Doctor, at this auspicious time, the master control room guys are going to display our telephone number on the screen. It is right there. Our numerous viewers can call in so that they can participate by sharing their thoughts with us, their comments, even if they have questions to Dr. Olukayode. You are free, please, to call in so that you can make the program conversational and very, very interactive. Let me ask you, now you have talked about failure of intelligence gathering. A recent happening in Abuja, it calls for serious concern. That has to do with a proscribed faith-based organization, popularly known as the Shiite. I'm not talking about the Shiite in particular. The issue is not about them. Because Nigeria is a very complex society, one has to be very, very extra careful to discuss religion. It is very sensitive. But we must stress the point that this is a proscribed group, just like the IPOB. But they succeeded in gathering, they succeeded in communicating using modern gadgets of communication. They succeeded in mentioning where they are supposed to meet as their rendezvous, which is the heart of Abuja. We say, for those who are familiar with the geography of Abuja, they came from all nooks and crannies, from far-flung places in the country. They succeeded in converging. At the end of the day, the procession snowballed into something unbearable that 2 police officers had to lose their lives, and they burned down about 3 vehicles. Would you attribute that to lack of intelligence gathering?
Yeah, that was a very glaring example of the total breakdown of intelligence gathering, total intelligence failure. Because before these people, the security men and security operatives, you now know that we are in a modern age. The people that you think in those days, you just round them up, you just get the intelligence, go around them somewhere. Most of these people are intelligent. They have gone through training with different terrorist organizations all over the world. So our people should realize that you are operating against a very strong and a very intelligent group that they want to beat you at all times. So you must also opt your game. You must opt your game. You must opt your strategies so that you'll be able to match them 1-for-1. Because these people, the way they gathered, it was really very embarrassing. Because when I saw it, I said, with their black attires, they just gathered, like you said, from different angles, and they were able to beat all the security agencies in Abuja to it. They didn't know until they went on the street, and it was then we now start doing our fire brigade approach, reactionary approaches. We should be proactive. We should be able to match them 1-for-1. We should have strong intelligence gathering system, intelligence gathering machinery. So they beat the system to it, this last one, and that's why. And eventually, while the populace suffer, you find out that at times the security men who are supposed to do their job, who are not really performing well, lost their lives. It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. But if the relevant intelligence has been gathered and given to the right, these people have been arrested as they were coming in, and they'll be put in the gulag. But now they were able to penetrate us. We are not really safe here. So there should be a redrawing of the security architecture of all our cities, so that you should redraw it and rejig it. Not only rejigging. If you rejig the architecture, it will work. It's not working. The people really took us by surprise, and see innocent policemen died. I saw the picture. It was so horrible on the social media. They were butchered. Human beings like us. We need to really redraw our intelligence gathering system so that we can nip these things in the bud before they come to reality. So the security system, I'm happy that some of the appointments the president is making now.
Before we go to appointments,
really,
let's talk about we are talking about the appointment, leadership, the recruitment process of this country. Many people have faulted it, tagging it as there's this word for it. Pecuniary, so against the backdrop of that, people are saying the Minister of Defense should have been, drawn from the retired, the retired service chiefs or military personnel like you that have been in the trenches, that have earned accolades, and they did well. They have enviable pedigree, but the 2 ministers, the minister and the Minister of Defense, have no military background. They have no security background. Experience. And how do you feel about such appointments?
You see, we have to learn to put round pegs in round holes in this country.
Okay, before I answer that question, let me take this caller. You are our first caller. Good afternoon. You are live on Contact TV, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, we should learn. just for once, to start putting round pegs in round holes. You see, in countries that we claim to emulate or we came to learn from, with the advanced countries, you will see people who have the relevant training, the relevant qualification, the relevant experience are put in places, sensitive places. But here we just want to do political patronage. It's only by political patronage we do most of our appointments. Look at, like you said, the two ministers of defense. They don't have anything to do with security. They don't have any serious experience to do with the area they are being put into. So definitely they will start learning. And by the time they are learning, almost the 4 years appointment is almost running over. So the president has to learn to, at least from once, let's put the right people in the right places, especially if you are appointing people politically. Okay. Let us make sure it's people that have the background.
Doctor, I like the line of thoughts, yes. But the telephone is not helping us. You know, there are glitches, technical glitches, but I would just want to urge our callers to continue to call in. Don't get despaired, please. Doctor, continue on your line of thought.
Yeah, so the appointments
in round holes.
Yes, they should appoint the people that have, especially when it has to do with security, because the primary function of government is to provide security and welfare of the people. And it is when people are alive that they can enjoy anything that has to do with welfare. So it means security is paramount, it is basic, and it has to be in place. So for appointment into security positions, the president should be very careful. Look for professionals, people who have the background and people who have the interest of the country at heart, not just for mere political patronage. Once we do that, then like the two ministers, I'm sure they are still learning. After 1 year, they are still learning. And you know, security, they will deceive you. I know how our people do. They will not show you the way.
No, you know, on the heels of that, when the president gave this marching order for the service chiefs to relocate to Northwest region to provide security to face, you know, banditry that has ravaged the region, there was this spectacle of ceremony that created semblance of comical semblance of seriousness. Yeah. You know, the minister was, you know, provided with a fitted camouflage which he wore. There was a ceremony. He inspected a guard of honor. You know, there was a whole gamut of ceremony before they embarked on that, you know, mission. Okay. How do you feel as a security person?
Like I said, it's just playing to the gallery, and it's not necessary.
People suspect. People are, you know, Nigerians are very cynical people because of the experiences of the past, and you wouldn't blame Nigerians for being cynical. You know, there are you know, speculations that, or rather, missions of such nature come with funding.
Yes.
So the interest is not about the mission. Yeah. It's about the funding.
Yes.
Do you share that view?
Yeah. If you go and look into the records, if you will hear the amount of money that was spent on that particular funfair, let me call it. Let me give it that description. You'll be amazed. You'll be astonished that where are we going in this country? The money that ought to have been used to equip the men on the field, the money that ought to have been used to provide equipments, drones that can discover. You see, these people are living within our geographical confines of Nigeria. You can use drones to monitor them. You can use many technology. Look at the Ukrainian and the Russian the Russian war. A lot of the Ukrainians are using drones to discover many things, to gather intelligence. Okay. But we have not really invested in all those things.
We'll talk about drones when we come back from this caller.
Okay.
You talk about drones. Recently, the Mr. President was in China, and he traveled with the Minister of Defense, Badaru, the former governor of Jigawa State. And Badaru, on the sidelines of the visit, he took out time to visit a drones manufacturing you know, company in China. Did you receive the news? For the Minister of Defense that knows next to nothing about security, only him and his aides visiting a drones manufacturing company in China.
And maybe on that entourage there will be some security experts and some military men who will be on the entourage. But that be as it may, it is not for us to start blowing all these things on the pages of newspaper, in the social media. Let us do these things secretly. If you are importing drones for intelligence gathering, for other military operations, let it be done quietly, so that this thing will come as a surprise for these people terrorizing our country. So it's a good step for the government to have gone into that direction. And by now we should be deeply involved in using drones to perpetrate or to prosecute our wars or our military actions on the field. So we invest more on equipment, military equipment, technology, so that we don't continue to lose the lives of our innocent Nigerians who have sacrificed themselves to serve in the military and in the security services of this country. Equipment is what wins war in the modern days, in these modern times. It's not the number of troops we have on the field. If they are not properly equipped, they will be rattled and they will be embarrassed, and life will be lost. So we should invest more in equipment. We should invest more in things that will make the men on the field more effective against the terrorists. Look at how we have been fighting a ragtag terrorist bandits in the bush, ragtag soldiers, ragtag armies, rattling our whole country. And Nigeria has gone on many international military engagement. And we've done well in all this engagement all over the world in past years. But look at how locally our army, our security men has been rattled by this ragtag army, well trained, and it just shows the level of commitment of our people. A lot of reasons can be adduced for this situation we find ourselves, like rivalry amongst the organizations, the military organization, the security organization. Everybody wants to impress the commander-in-chief, not minding focusing on what we're supposed to do. Security has different levels. You feed one another. You are supposed to work in tandem with one another, in cooperation with one another, so that everything will run out well, and eventually you put the enemy on the defense. But that's not the issue. We are being put on the defense by this ragtag army.
Okay, you have earlier talked about the urgent need to redesign the security architecture. I mean, you deliberately you decided not to use the word rejig, because you said it's overflowed and it has become like a cliche.
Yes, yes.
Mr. President has recently replaced the DG of DSS, Yusuf Bichi, with Adiola Ajayi, someone you have known over the years. He is your contemporary. He was your colleague as a retired secret agent. And then the NIA, Nigerian Intelligence Agency, has also gotten a new lease of life with the appointment of Mohammed, Ambassador Mohammed. How did you receive the news? Are you elated?
Yeah, I was really happy and elated when I heard of the news of the appointment of Ajayi Adiola, Tosin we call him, when we all joined the Secret Service about 35 years ago. And I was really happy because that's a super intelligence officer. That's a man that knows his onion. That's a man that can perform. It's not because he's a Yoruba man or nothing. He led the group he's been leading among those who are in service up till now. And everybody knows him as a super intelligence officer. So I just hope he's going to bring to bear his experience.
Can you give us a peep into some of those laudable things that you have done in the service, that although that should be confidential, but
I mean, you see, he's an officer that has been taken to very hot spots to face very tough situations, and he has excelled. He was in Rivers when things were really upside down in Rivers, politically, security-wise. He was in Rivers many years during the wicked years. And he was only able to prove his mentor there. Later, they took him to Kogi State when there was problem with the former governor that led to people who were being killed, a lot of insecurity going on everywhere. And he went there and proved his mentor. I hope he will be able to bring the wealth of experience and the interest he has, which some of us know, to bear on the security architecture of this country. He has to redraw the security architecture, and they need to cooperate with themselves. The Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Naval Staff, the Air Staff, the Joint Chief of Staff, the police, they should cooperate. Let them not work at court processes with one another. So that is what is killing us.
Your summary is that Mr. President has made the right choice.
Very good. It's not because he's my colleague or he was my colleague in those days, but I know he's somebody who can deliver. I hope they will give him the right and the necessary cooperation to deliver. And we are praying that we'll be able to turn around this situation.
Okay, in recent years, the country has also witnessed a series of kidnapping. Let's shift gears to kidnapping for ransom. You know, like I said, armed groups and terrorists with about, in 2020, report by SB Morgan shows that between 2011 and 2020, over $18 million, you know, that's amounting to 6.9 billion naira, had been paid in ransom to kidnappers by victims. And then out of this figure, you know, SB Morgan also stated that around $11 million, that's equivalent of 4.2 billion naira, was paid between 2016 and 2020, which makes it appear that kidnapping has become a business enterprise.
Lucrative business. Yeah, it's a very lucrative business. It's like when we were small, they said when the mouse or the rat sees something somewhere, it goes there, he eats it, no threat, no trouble, no danger to his life, it will come back again. And that's what is happening. And you will be surprised that our youths, the ordinary youths who were not given to committing crime before has joined this group because they know it's a money spinning business, very lucrative. Just get hold of somebody and start making calls, millions will rain in. And because they do this thing unhindered, because they do it without being called, without being curtailed by our security agencies, they keep on having it. And most of the time they will be telling lies that due to their operation, when the people who went to rescue their loved ones paid heavily. And that's why this thing is thriving. We should stop this. But in any case, I won't be savage to the extent of maybe telling somebody whose sibling or whose relative has been kidnapped that they should leave him there, they should not pay. They will just kill the person and you lose life. And you know, we Nigerians, we value life more than any other group of people. So you won't blame anybody, but our government needs to redraw our security architecture. There should be a new architecture. It's not rejigging the old one. The old one is not working. It has failed us. It has failed government. It has failed the people. So we should redraw it and see how we move on with this new strategy in order to stop these people. And there should be commitment on the part of our men in uniform too. Because some of the time, a lot of betrayers, a lot of sellout because of money. Troops, platoons and battalions are ambushed because the people who are in the service gave information to the terrorists. They are ambushed and killed mercilessly. So we should think of this nation, especially the people in uniform. You have made vow to protect this nation, to help us protect this nation. So we should not say because of pecuniary matters, pecuniary considerations, we now start selling out, not caring about the life of our colleagues. It has happened a lot of time. They go and give information to terrorists and the people will run into an ambush and they'll be mercilessly massacred. It has happened. So we are appealing to our men in uniform. We know you are trying. It's not easy. Some of us have been there and it's not been easy to sacrifice your life. It's a honorable, it's a noble job that you are doing. But you do it in a noble manner too. When you see a serviceman abroad, people respect them because they have commitment, they have loyalty, and they do it to the point of even losing their lives. So, but when things are done and we sell out, we betray, it creates a lot of problem on the field for those who really want to do the work. So our prayer is that they should also encourage the men. They should be given their entitlement when they are due for it. Because some of the times we hear that some commanders will cut away monies that are meant for the troops to take care of themselves. Somebody who is fighting on the war front is not sure whether his families are well taken care of him. He will lose concentration. He will lose focus. There will be no commitment. So they should give them the necessary things they need in terms of equipment. Their welfare should be properly taken care of so that they can fight this. You see, the Nigerian military and the security service, they are well trained. And they look at the police. The police want to do their job. You'll be amazed. You will be amazed the way they will go about doing it. But once they sell out, my brother, there can't be any significant improvement in this situation. And we pray that this will improve with these new men in security, in the top echelon of the security services. Both the police and they should come together, work in the interest of the people. Release the money that is meant to prosecute this war. Release it to the men. Let the men have the taste of it. And government has been trying. When we're in service, if there's any special operation, they provide money. And in those days, they will give you. And you know you are going. You will call your family, give them, say, take go, and go and pay for me. But these days, when the military man or the soldier or the security man is leaving his house, and the money they ought to give them is not being given, he's not sure whether his children will eat the next day or the wife, he will lose concentration. So some of these things are the things that are affecting. And if he's tempted by the people on the other side, I mean the terrorists with money, they will sell out.
Okay, let's take this caller. Hello? Hello? Yeah, good afternoon. This is the POLITY from KAFTAN Television Live. Please go ahead.
This is from Gogolada.
Okay, Usman from Gogolada. Go ahead with your contribution.
My regards to your guest in the studio there.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
There are so many issues.
Yeah.
Pertaining to this insecurity. And the highlight of the issue is that the matter is being handled with levity by the security apparatus. They are not using enough information to track the perpetrators of this insecurity. If we can understand the imperatives of security in any country, I think it's time for the government to declare state of emergency on the security issues. But just like your guest there said, it is a foundational issue. It is the basis of governance. Without security, nothing can work. The government is busy taxing people more here and there, withdrawing subsidy. That's creating more problems for security. If the government can just have a serious look at the security matter, the whole matter of it is resolved. Because this looks like an external aggression kind of. It's always coming from the borderlines. And because of the carelessness of handling it, because of lack of synergy between security apparatus, it's like it's coming inward. It's getting hinterland. People in the hinterland cannot even sleep with their two eyes closed anymore. Because you're afraid your dog could be knocked up at any time and be picked up. And behold, nothing happens. You'll be taken away. I guess the presidency has been seeing some videos making rounds on the internet, going viral. How innocents are being picked and being subjected to horror.
Yeah.
Being subjected to maltreatment as if they have committed any offense. Innocent travelers that just picked up being told to pay millions of naira, which they have never heard of in their lives. And all their people are put on edge regarding this thing. I think it is time for the security apparatus to wake up.
Okay.
Not speak well of our military, our police, to sit down and do nothing.
Thank you.
If we don't do something in the world, and it's already happening to us, we have a lot of apparatuses to use to leave this in the mud. They think we are not using them.
Yeah. Thank you.
For instance, this thing that happened in Zamfara recently, where the minister for defense went to Zamfara.
Yeah.
Northwest there. And some towns were said to be stuck in the mud.
Yes.
They showed his mind packing arms.
Yeah.
There was no reinforcement from the army or the police to go and stop that. That is their being picked more to perpetrate more evil against the country. It's surprising that we have airports in this country. Such a thing happens, the airport cannot take up immediately to the place and burn the whole thing down so that they cannot have access to this house. They just pack arms and went away like that. Making the country more in trouble before these little boys. I think it's time to get the government to the presidency understand this. Because upon this security, we can do every other thing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. Thank you for calling. Thank you for your thoughts. Can you respond to some of the issues you raised? Okay, let me just go straight to the point. Bello Turji is a bandit kingpin. We know the region he is operating from, that's northwest. That is exactly where Mr. President gave the military a marching order to relocate. Only 2-3 days ago, the Chief of Defense Staff, told Nigerians at a press briefing that Bello Turji will soon be arrested. Is that what Nigerians want to hear?
It looks very, very amazing and very laughable. You see, when people, if you are tracking a non-terrorist, do you need to come to the press to start saying that you have already, if you are not careful, you have already shot yourself in the leg already, because the man knows he's being looked for, so you start disguising and he will move forward. He will move away from that location. So these things ought to be done in a more professional way. Subversion. Yes, very more professional, very secretive way.
Okay, let me.
You cannot get the man with that.
Let's take this caller. Hello, good afternoon. This is the POLITY live from KAFTAN Television Studios. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
Yes. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Please, from Kaduna, please turn down the volume of your TV set, and then go ahead.
Yeah, I am Jerry by name.
Jerry, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to commend the guest speaker.
Okay, thank you.
He has analyzed the problem of Nigeria.
Yes.
Let me tell you, if you have a child and you don't train him very well, that child will come back to you something. That is exactly what's happening in Nigeria. And talking about the police, the army, so. You see, most of them are not even showing patriotism, in the sense that each and every one of them want to carry the glory. I can't start, I sleep, and I start asking myself, who is this Fuji? In a country where our men have gone out of the country and they have performed exceedingly well, but coming to Nigeria, every time you open your face, where you open your phone, the only thing you see, killing here, kidnapping here, you sleep, you cannot be able to sleep, your eyes are open. Where are we going in Nigeria? Greediness has taken over our lives and we don't even think. They said, we are talking about arms. Which kind of arms have they not bought in Nigeria? Is it the arms alone that will fight for you? What about the technology? The phone that they are using, the kidnapper will even call you with the phone. Are you telling us that there is no technology know-how that can be able to depict where these people are? We began to ask questions. Sometimes we start asking questions to ourselves. Are we really doing what we are supposed to do? Go out there and see the kind of building that people are doing, even when there's no money. We don't have patriotism. The patriotism has died long before now. I used to remember I was a kid then when our late Father Abacha, and I've been hearing this over time. He said, when you have problems in the country and it's within 24 hours, the government is there. What are we talking about? You want somebody to go and die, how much are you paying them? You pay them a salary that cannot buy a bag of rice. And you want me to put my life on the line. These are some of the problems.
Yeah.
You see, some of them are growing fatter and the ones that are working are growing leaner. What are we talking? As long as patriotism is not in us, this country will not get to anywhere. You even have more of these people coming out. Because you can see graduates coming out in schools now, under 20, and kidnapping, just some recent point. A boy of 20 just killed somebody. So, yes, you've seen from the senior boys. They are doing it. They are making money.
Yeah.
So as long as we don't go to the drawing board and see what, and isolate the problem, before we now find the problem, politically speaking, this can go on and on. And getting twitchy is not, I don't think it's even the most important thing in Nigeria.
Okay.
There are many twitchy. Twitchy is just at the backyard. What is twitchy? But somebody will come and say, sooner or later we're going to get twitchy. Is that not a shame to Nigeria? I want to be now assume ourselves.
Okay.
We have been, I've been hearing about them spend money on this, they spend money on that, buying this, buying that. Where is the money going? You hear them say, okay, they are talking this person has chopped this, has chopped that. Before you know it, nobody talks about it. Everybody is trying to carry the glory. I am this, I support my name. Go to the go to the head of state and telling me lies because you want him to lie shit. And what is, but of course, all of us we came to this world. We came with nothing.
Yes.
We acquire almost everything. And at the end of the day, you go with nothing. How people will not think about this? Look at what's happening in the country now. Do you think anybody cares about anybody's life now? Nobody cares. The money is what everybody's looking for. So I think that, sir, if they're painting Nigeria with you, let's go to the drawing board.
Okay.
Let's think of our past forefathers, what they did to make this Nigeria one.
Thank you.
If not, we will deteriorate to the world that you cannot even sleep in the house. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jerry. Jerry has made some valid points, and I think he spoke in tandem with you.
Yeah.
We should redraw this strategy.
Yeah.
So, is there other issues that you raised you want to respond to?
Yeah, there's another thing he mentioned that really is the quality of our men in uniform and in the service of this nation. You see, the security service has to do with a very sensitive aspect of the nation's life, of the life of the people. Because it is when you are secure that you be alive, that you can enjoy anything, that you can enjoy the facility provided by the government. When somebody is not alive, when the life of somebody's life is in danger, it won't be in existence. So in any way, security is paramount. It is fundamental. And there's another problem that we have in this country, the recruitment process into some of these services. You find a lot of partisanship, a lot of personal consideration, ethnicism, tribalism in bringing people who are not supposed to be even close. There was somebody was telling me, a very highly placed somebody, that some of these I don't want to deride any organization. People who are asked to go and catch people who are into drugs, they themselves, they are master of the drugs, narcotics, and all these things. How do they arrest those people who are perpetrating illicit drug, who are into use of illicit drug? So some of these things, the recruitment process into the side. Look at the time the police IG about some few months ago, he was complaining about the caliber of men that were recruited by the Police Service Commission to be recruited. That people who did not even pass exam, people who did not even attend, very questionable characters. The IG spoke out about it, and we all had it. It wasn't a reading incident. So the recruitment process, you must recruit people who are well trained, well educated, people who are genuine, not miscreants, not criminals, not political thugs. Into security. I heard of one particular agency recently, the way they were bringing people, very questionable characters, into the system. And you now put money, uniform on these people, give them arms to go and operate.
Okay.
When they turn against the people,
they will.
Yeah,
definitely. Let's take this caller. Good afternoon. This is the Polity live from KAFTAN Television. Go ahead, please. Your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Go ahead.
My name is Olukayode. I'm calling from Jamatu, Yobe State Capital.
Okay, go ahead with your contribution from Yobe State.
I have to welcome our guest for this wonderful topic of discussion.
Okay, we also welcome you for joining us.
I can see vividly that we are discussing about X-ray of intelligence.
Yes.
Honestly, we have problem in Nigeria. Our security architecture is completely rotten. Now look at the issue of insurgency, banditry, and kidnapping that is taking place in this country. These people are in Nigeria, in the forest, and some of them are here, and they are within towns and cities. And the securities are unable to track them down. These people call with phones, demanding for ransom, and they cannot detect them. The Ministry of Digital Economy and Communication has over 100 million database linked with our telecommunications.
Yeah.
In which that anybody that uses any phone, he can easily be traced wherever he is. Now look at the recent incident where an emir of Gobir was kidnapped and was asked to bring about some motorcycles. Why are security personnel? If it were in an advanced country, these motorcycles will be attached with GPS system, whereby even if taken to them, they can be tracked.
Yes.
And be nailed and dealt with seriously. Look at the issue that what happened in Iran, where Ismail Haniyeh was killed. He was traced by a WhatsApp that he communicated with his son. These are securities.
Yeah.
But why is our own security in Nigeria? Everything is now with nepotism, ethnicity. They don't even know what they are doing. The ministers are not technocrats. I don't even know what to say. Honestly, it is problem problem is not addressed drastically, we are doomed. Honestly.
Thank you. I can understand. I can resonate with his feeling. You know, he's feeling so sad. And he has spoken the minds of so many Nigerians. Yes. He has spoken your mind. I can see the way you're nodding your head in agreement. And could you respond to some of the issues?
Yeah, like you said, we are deep in this trouble.
And every Nigerian seems to know the solution to this thing.
Yeah.
The security agents there's a role reversal. Citizens that are not security agents seem to know the solution. The use of technology, the use of drones. Security agencies don't seem to know. What's the reason? I don't know. There's a
They know what they are doing.
Okay, let's take this caller. Hello, good afternoon. They know what they're doing.
They know what they are doing. They are well-trained men in this country. Like I told you, if you see some performances of the police officers in certain situations when they are interested, when they really have interest in a particular police, you will see that there was about 2 weeks ago. I have a daughter somewhere in this Abuja. She's a chief executive somewhere. They were looking for somebody, and they've been looking for that person. The police have been calling. The person has been evading them. I don't know how they got the phone number of my daughter. She sells furniture, and they now came to the office. She was asking, no, listen to them. They came to the office to get, because they saw in one of our conversation on the telephone, I don't know where they got that information, that she was speaking with the company, trying to buy some furniture. So they came for the information to that person's house. So my daughter was afraid. I said, please, they are doing their work. Help them, give them. And they were able to track down after a whole year. So if the police want to work, if the army wants to work, if the SSS men want to work, or other agencies, the police, they will work.
Okay.
But our problem is that political will, that commitment.
Okay, let's take this caller, doctor. Hello, good afternoon. This is the POLITY. Please go ahead. Go ahead, your name, please. Good afternoon, your name and where you're calling from. Good afternoon, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Prince from Abuja.
Prince from Abuja, go ahead with your thoughts.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Prince. Go ahead with your contribution.
Our daddy that has been analyzing about this insurgents, banditry, and kidnapping.
Yeah, go ahead.
There are some areas that I support what our daddy was trying to let us understand. And there are some areas I do not agree with him, sir.
You are entitled to your comment and your opinion. Go ahead.
Okay, no problem, sir. When we are talking about our security architecture or these our military personnel, they are one of the best in Africa, if they are not a second in the whole world.
Yeah, he said so.
And when they go for peacekeeping operations, majority of them come back with recommendations.
Yeah, that's right.
To let you know that there is no problem with our security people, starting from Nigeria Army, Navy, Air Force, Police, Civil Defense, and any other one. But the power will of our government, our security have been trying to put things in order. All this insurgency and the banditry, kidnapping, how many of them have been taken to court and they tried and they sentenced? Soldiers will not go to court. Air Force will not go. Likewise, other security agencies. I could remember some years back, whereby they said the repentant Boko Haram
were rehabilitated.
Was being given amnesty. And the people that they killed their family and government neglected them. Is it not one way or the other to encourage this banditry or kidnapping to try again? Please, our security are doing their best. It is the government that do not encourage them.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your...
Because when you take somebody to today and you see that the same person tomorrow outside, what are you going to do? There is nothing you can do.
Thank you.
Please, let us talk to the government. Let them do what they need to do. Like today now, the government says nobody is coming out tomorrow. Nobody will come out.
That's right.
They have the right to say so, and they have the power and the will to enforce the law. Yes, former CSO to Abacha, and most of us say one thing. He said any problem that is exceeding 24 hours in Nigeria, any problem of any kind, he said it should be traced to the government.
Okay, thank you. Begin to wind down, please.
In terms of all the equipment that we need, we have it. They can trace all these people, they can track them down, they can deal with them. But the government that will keep go ahead is not ready to do that. Thank you, and
thank you.
God bless you, sir.
God bless you too. Thank you. He mentioned that he disagrees with you in some certain areas, but he has not succeeded in mentioning those areas that he disagrees with you. But I like his line of thought. Let me ask you, already before asking, let me share with you something that amazed me, and I've continued to wonder. I attended Nigerian Institute of Public Relations conference because I'm a member of the Abuja chapter, and a colleague of mine, a friend of mine from my state, attended conference with me. He was a commissioner of information and strategy in Adamawa State. And he showed me and the national president of the NIPR something that amazed both of us. A Zoom meeting with bandit leader. And my colleague joined the Zoom meeting. You know, the reason why I'm saying this is that we have a clergy here who can have unfettered access to bandits. We all know him, who lives in Kaduna.
Yes.
So journalists also have unfettered access to these bandits. They interview them on BBC. They interview them on Al Jazeera, on other international media organizations, even though our local media organizations send correspondents who have unfettered access to bandit leaders, So I was not surprised when my friend and brother joined the Zoom meeting with bandits, and he showed it to me. So I didn't want to go further to ask him how he got it, because I know Zoom is about technology.
Yes.
And you are here talking about the need for our military to adopt the use of technology if they want to end this banditry. Why are they not using it?
It's like he said, the last speaker, he was talking about the political will of our leaders. You see, this particular problem cannot be seen or assessed from one particular perspective. Why the leadership has its own problem. The followership too, we are also part of it. Our soldiers are fantastic. Our military men are good. Our police officers, fine officers. Secret service men, very good ones. But there are some bad eggs within this system that pollute the whole system. A betrayal by one can lead to the death of many, and to useless the good work being done by many. So that's the problem we have. It's like a Judas among the 12 disciples that came to sell out Jesus. And that led to many things.
Let's take this caller. I love that analogy. Yes. Doctor just used. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, go ahead with your contribution, sir.
The reason why I want to thank you, all of you, because I can see two gentlemen who are matured, who knows the problem of Nigeria.
Okay.
I am a Nigerian. What is happening in the system of Nigeria, if we cannot solve this problem of insecurity, it means no government is ready to take care of us any longer. There's no aspect of governance that I have not tried to see if there is a solution to this insurgency, banditry, and kidnapping, but they have not succeeded. But I want to tell you that what you are doing here gives me joy, and if government can listen to us, there is need to recontract this solution, if we want to find solution, to a different body entirely, and leave our security, our security agencies alone, because they are doing their best. That is what they feel they can do. Why not try to invite external bodies to come and take care of our system? Because none of these things that is happening that does not have something to do with our network. In abroad, I have traveled to Europe. I have known how, even in China I was there, I know how to cater for this. The solution to this thing is to take care of what is happening now before you are taking care of, or before you see it happening. plan before you take action. So that is where our government should take care of. Because they make communication, they are using the same network we are using. So they communicate with each other, they plan. So why not let a different body come out and then sponsored by government to take care of it? And leave our security agency alone. Because that is the best thing I think they can do. They cannot do more than what we are seeing. We will remain like this because nobody is comfortable with this security situation in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You can hear the pain, you know, in his voice as a concerned Nigerian. Yeah. Could you respond to some of the things you raised? Yeah,
this is just what he said, or this situation is just a reflection of how an average Nigerian feels. We feel so insecure. We feel so, we are always on the edge.
Okay.
Over little things.
Doctor, let's take a short break, and when we return, the program will continue. Please stay with us. The battery is there. Thank you.
In the beginning, God created a beautiful world.
3, 2, 1. Action.
And that's why, at KAFTAN Television,
we imagine a beautiful world.
We are not just bragging.
We blaze the trail in broadcasting. And it is about you.
You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the POLITY live from KAFTAN Television Studios in Abuja. And with me still in the studio is Dr. Obayomi. You know, Dr. Obayomi is a security consultant and is a retired secret agent. We are here discussing insurgency, banditry, kidnapping for ransom, and we're doing an X-ray of failure of intelligence gathering in Nigeria. Doctor, let me ask you, before I ask you this question, I've read in the papers, we journalists are trained not to believe in speculations, and we don't peddle speculations and rumors. But people, and what I read in the social media has gotten traction that, you know, soldiers are leaving the Nigerian armed forces in droves because of things that include low morale, low pay, you know, absence of equipment to fight insecurity. What are you hearing?
That information was very much on the social media some times ago, but I felt that it was just one of the manipulations of the enemy against the Nigerian state, because if you look at the rate of unemployment in this country, I don't know how somebody will say you are employed in a tenure job where you are sure of retiring and nothing is facing, no threat is facing your life, you just go and retire. But the enemy can use that as a psychological operation against the system to show that some people are demoralized and that they are living in droves. Me, I felt it was an information thrown into the system, thrown up by the soldiers to show that there is a high level of demoralization among the troops. It's a psychological war to show that the people are demoralized in order to bolster their own image and in order to look as if they are winning. So me, I don't think it's a very genuine. Nobody, people are resigning, it's not in Nigeria. Do people leave jobs? Even when they are dying, they won't leave. Even when they are fumbling, they won't leave. Nobody withdraws from job in this kind of climate we are.
Okay, let's take this caller. Hello, good afternoon. You are on to the POLITY. Go ahead, sir. Good afternoon.
It's Ibrahim Mustafa calling back again.
Okay, Ibrahim Mustafa, go ahead. It's your show. From Gwawalada, Ibrahim Mustafa, go ahead.
Political will by the government government has demonstrated some political will, but that has not achieved the target.
Okay.
So I think there's a need to increase that political will, the degree of that political will, by taking the step of removing the appointees who have refused to play their role. Let me give you an example.
Go ahead.
Every appointment resides with the mandate to discharge the duty of that office. If the chief of army staff faces GOCs in charge of areas where this banditry is taking place, since the GOC has not demonstrated enough will, enough efficiency there, such GOCs should be removed. I mean, trickle down along the line. Because it will be very laughable for instance, a DPO to begin to ask for permission to attack an armed robber that's invaded his area of jurisdiction.
Okay.
That duty resides with his DPO office. It does not need any order for anybody to do that duty. Once there's information, there's wrong with any place, is to discharge his boys there.
Yeah.
If he refuses to discharge his boys there, he cannot call the state responsible. He is responsible, so he should be removed by the state. For instance, you know, all subsequent governments that come before this present government have given order to fight this insurgency or bandit in different ways. For instance, Buhari's regime gave shoot-at-sight order for the bandits after struggling to decimate the Boko Haram in the northeast. He gave shoot-at-sight order, and that shoot-at-sight order was not fully implemented.
Okay, thank you. What did you wind up?
And he did not remove those concerns. I'm just sorry, please. I'm sorry. Let me just round up quickly.
Round up.
I want to bring us back to the issue of Evans and then this kidnapping in the Niger Delta, how it developed into Evans coming out.
Yeah, we know how it started.
Okay. All those people, Evans has not been punished till date. That is why this kidnapping has become a trade. If Evans is removed to a country, they are punished. The people, the perpetrators of this thing will have to relook at it. These are the kind of things I'm saying.
Okay, thank you.
There's only quick punishment for the perpetrators. I'm sorry, you're running out.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mustafa has so much to contribute. And whenever he calls, he gives us a perspective that can set the tone.
Yes.
Let me ask you, okay, let's take this caller before we go to the next question. Hello, good afternoon. This is the Polity. Please, you have 30 seconds.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. We are winding down. We have 30 seconds.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Go ahead.
I'm calling from Cross River State.
Okay.
I appreciate the guest and the presenter.
Thank you.
As far as I'm concerned, until there's a law that gives the military and the police the authority to be independent and operate as an independent body, as long as they are taking instruction from politicians, it will not work, because politicians don't have any political will.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
He has made a very, very short but very precise and cogent point. But he's talking about political will. He just reiterated what you have been saying earlier on, or rather he re-echoed it. There has been, you know, during the Buhari regime, shortly before he handed over to President Tinubu, there was a cashless policy. And although banditry or kidnapping for ransom has become a criminal enterprise, I've heard people say it is because there is cash available, you know, with any denomination. That's why this kidnapping for ransom will continue to thrive. I remember the case of the primate of the Anglican Church, who spent only one night in the kidnappers' den, and then they demanded for 100 million naira, and they got it in cash.
Yes, they got it.
Going cashless, do you think it is one of the factors that will bring down, kidnappings for ransom? Yeah, it was a well thought out strategy to reduce the trade in cash between these miscreants and their victims. But be that as it may, it has not really worked. The cashless policy itself, is it really working? We have turned the POS people to another bank. So the Nigerian economy is still cash based. You cannot go to a bank now and withdraw some amount. If you go to a bank and say you want to withdraw with your check now, they will tell you cannot withdraw more than this. But go to the POS people, you get cash every day. So it's like we initiate policies, but the implementation is always the problem. The cashless policy is a very good policy to mitigate this kidnapping issue. Because if they don't get money, but meanwhile, in any case, if they want to do transfer, they will be tracked. They will be tracked. They will be tracked. Exactly. But the cash is safer. Yes, it's when physical cash exchange hands. Exactly. So, but you find out that they are still getting this cash from who? From those who are in control of it. So it still boils down to the government machinery. Kidnappers know that if they get hold of a victim and they insist on certain amount of money, they are sure of getting it. Yes, because people will have access to those cash. Yes, from their banks. Yes, you will go there, you the ordinary person, but if the people who are concerned needs money, they will sell to them. See how they sell money in their parties as if we were selling commodities. So if you're in trouble, you will get this money before you are ready to pay for it. So it still boils down to this issue of our values, our value system. So let's talk about as we wind down. Let's talk about personnel deficit. Yeah. Particular emphasis on Nigerian police. Yes. I know that as a journalist, I know that we have close to 400,000 police in Nigeria. Yeah. But every state governor in the government house have nothing less than 20 police officers. Yes. In addition to the ones in the liaison offices in Abuja. Not to talk about permanent secretaries that have police officers attached to them. Yeah. Talking about ministers that have police officers attached to them, and VIPs. I know a VIP that has been a friend of mine, perhaps is watching. For the past 15 years, he has 2 Nigerian police attached to him with official rifle, AK-47, in the last 15 years. And he foots his bill, he pays 300,000 naira monthly. He pays upfront for a year, renewable, and he's been doing that for 15 years. And there are so many VIPs like that. So that is one of the reasons for the deficit in the Nigerian police. Out of 400,000 police officers, more than half individuals are, serving the areas I've mentioned. How does that make you feel as a security? It's really affecting the performance and the effectiveness of some of these organizations like the police. If you take a whole chunk, almost half of the personnel recruited and being paid by the resources of the country to serve the country, and they are being designated to serve ordinary individuals. Let me say ordinary, the VIPs. But it's the country for the PIPs, the country is for us all. These people are devoted, they are supposed to be devoted to serving the majority of the people. First, the security, and this is what is affecting the effectiveness of some of these people. Look at how the shy people overpower the 2 policemen. Had it been they had a good number of policemen that may be outnumbered, this shy, they won't be able to overpower the 2 men that were killed, mercilessly killed. But there's a shortage in the number of forces. If you're in the field of operation, in the theater of war, you look at numbers. Because everyone is that we also operate equipment. So when you get to the theater of war, you know what these areas normally do, all these miscreants, what they normally do? They will come and do their own intelligence operation, know the number of men you have in your battalion, in your platoon, know the number of men you have mobilized. They will go and double that number or triple that number, and they will overpower you, they will overwhelm you. It's just normal, it's just very easy. So the decimation of the number of the policemen available to protect the ordinary Nigerian is not really encouraging, because the whole lot is devoted to protecting individuals. And that shows us the type of worldview of our leaders. We are not thinking of the safety of the whole people. We are thinking of our own safety, that if I'm alive, what concerns me? Doctor, you served in an era where there's a name of a place in the northeast that if you hear it, it resonates with, you know, with the most feared police, you know, force in the whole of African continent, and that is Goza.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Where is Goza today? That was the place that, you know, we had the training, you know, school of the Nigerian mobile
yes,
police
yes,
force.
Yes.
It's been overtaken by bandits.
Yes.
They chased them away.
Yeah.
Now that place does not exist. Nobody's talking about, you know, restarting that kind of training, you know, school again. Yeah. How does that make you feel as a
it's really appalling. Because these are these things you mentioned were the glories of those days for our security organizations, like the police. If a whole ragtag army is able to ransack a whole battalion, a whole system, and you cannot go back there, that speaks a lot about the level of deterioration in the Nigerian security system. These people have hijacked some particular points that nobody can go near. People are running away from their abode, their natural, their traditional abode, and they cannot go back to their homes. It's really very bad. There should be a redrawing of, you see, I don't know how it's happening. But me, I know a legally armed force should be more effective than just these illegal people gathering themselves and just operating. But because there's no commitment, there's no encouragement, there's no dedication on the part of the men themselves. Some of them, I'm not saying everybody. That is why we're having this situation, and it's so deployed, so disheartening, and that you start thinking, where are we going to from here? It's really bad. Okay, we're in a very sorry situation.
Some of us in this industry, the journalism industry, are trained to be image managers, and image and reputation management is very, very key, you know, in telling a good story about your organization or the individual you are serving or the group you are serving. And now, I'm concerned about the image of the Nigerian police. The day before yesterday, I was moving around town in Abuja, and there's this nipping point of a police, patrol team. Nipping point is a place where they are stationary with their vehicle, so that they monitor movement, and, with a view to nipping in the bud any crime that may. Right? You know, that nipping point, I saw their vehicle. The vehicle was old. All the four tires were depleted. You could see that it was weather beaten, and I was amazed, because the purpose of a nipping point is for quick intervention, for rapid response in the event of any untoward events by undesirable elements. And I was wondering, what kind of image is this? If I had taken photograph of that thing and I said it on social media, that is negative image.
Yeah, this issue of maintenance of equipment. You see, governments, you will hear state governments all over the place buying vehicles, buying equipments, buying communication equipments for security service, the police, the state security, the civil defense. At times you ask yourself, at a stage you will not see any of these vehicles. This brand new, there's a time Dangote bought some vehicles for policemen in Abuja. Yes, we were seeing them. Yes. But hardly can you say, you start asking yourself, what really happened? So our maintenance culture, we are always talking about government. Government has its own problem. But I can say some of the time they are trying. But our own maintenance culture, some of us have been using cars for 10 years, cars for 15 years, we still maintain it. But when it comes to public facility, how do we maintain this vehicle? Where are all the vehicles bought by Dangote for policemen in Abuja? We can't see them anymore. Where are all the ones donated by the Federal Minister of Federal Capital Territory in the past? We cannot see them anymore because these vehicles are not properly maintained. And some of these guys in some of these places, they'll cut away most of them when they are retiring. We have heard of stories where people cut away government vehicles that are supposed to be used for operational purposes. So we Nigerians too, we need to have to turn a new leaf. While our leaders are being encouraged to continue to do well and in the interest of the country, the followers too, we have to do a rethink. What do we do at our own particular level? There are a lot of operational vehicles that I've known that many governments, many administrations have bought for some of these organizations. Where are all these vehicles? And some of us, we use vehicles for 10 years, we use vehicles for 5 years, still maintain them. I have vehicles that I've used for almost 7 years, 8 years now, and they are still motorable. But why is it that when it comes to government property, People say, so when we are blaming government, we should also look inward, look at ourselves. Where are the police? Where are the vehicles donated to the police? Where are all of them?
Okay.
Some people cutting away hillocks, all these retiring people. Okay,
as we wind down, Dr. Olukayode,
yes, sir.
Let me ask you this question, and it's going to be my last question to you. Secure environment for any country is an enabler.
Yeah, for every other thing.
It attracts investors, it attracts foreigners,
yes.
It attracts tourism. Now, we want foreigners to come into the country to invest, and that is the reason why Mr. President is traveled to China, and today he's in the UK, talking to investors to come and invest in Nigeria. But Nigeria, as you and I know, there is insurgency has taken over so many, parts of the country. Banditry has eaten the northwest region of the country. Kidnapping for ransom is everywhere. The IPOP have their own problem. The shares have the problem. Millions of challenges. Are you optimistic that investors are going to come?
I don't think we should dissipate so much energy in this foreign direct investment we are talking about. It's necessary. We need it. But do we have the enabling environment? No. Those of us who are Nigerians, we are not feeling secured.
That's why I say it's an enabler. Once you create an enabling environment,
yes,
investors we begin to
you see, and apart from this security thing, we should also talk about the welfare of the people
and the policies of government.
And the policies of government, because
flip-flop.
Yes,
policies.
Because once people are gainfully employed, look at the army of unemployed Nigerians. They are easy hands. They said the devil finds job for an idle hand. So government should look at the welfare of the people, let people be gainfully engaged. Look at how Boko Haram, look at how they are recruiting people in the north, jobless people. If you don't have money, if you don't have a job, you don't have money, they will give you some money and make you to join them, join their network. So government too should also focus on developing infrastructure more, providing jobs for the people, so that it is only those who want to go on with criminality that will be encouraged. Not somebody who just want to eat, because if you are hungry, my brother, when somebody is hungry, you can do anything.
Okay.
You can do anything to survive, just to have something in your belly. So government should also think of the welfare aspect, provide more for the people, so that there will be a reduction in the number of those who will be attracted to criminality and crimes. Because this thing too has to do with the level of comfort the people has. If I have a job, and I'm receiving salary, nobody can come and ask me to go and join a group that I may lose my life because they want to give me some amount of money. So government should also focus on providing for the need of the people, so that the level of insecurity would definitely go down, apart from also focusing on offensive measures that we use to fight the insurgency and every other thing.
Okay. Thank you so profoundly, Obayomi Olukayode, PhD, security expert and a journalist. Communication strategist, yes, as well as political scientist, is so many things put together. Thank you most profoundly for finding time out of your busy schedule to be on the Polity today.
Thank you very much.
I
appreciate
our numerous viewers and our vibrant callers for calling in. All comments by our callers are their personal opinion that have nothing to do with the editorial policy of KAFTAN management and its staff. My name remains Macauley Hunohashi, thanking our master control room operators for making the program possible. On behalf of my producer, I remain yours sincerely, Macauley Hunohashi, saying thanks for joining us. See you next time, and bye for now.